I'm not going to apologize for being who I am. I'm a fighter. Always have been. That's what Lewis Hamilton said after the 2025 Miami Grand Prix. And he wasn't just talking about what happened on track. This was personal. Hamilton was furious. Not the usual frustration with tire wear or car setup. This was something deeper. A racing incident might seem small to some, but for Lewis, it was a slap in the face. They're trying to silence us. That's how it felt to him. So, what really happened in Miami? And why did it spark one of the most emotional reactions we've seen from Lewis in years? After the Miami Grand Prix, where Carlos Sainz and Hamilton clashed in one of the most heated midfield duels of the season, the FIA reviewed the incident. Hamilton and Sainz were both involved in a racing incident. No penalty was handed to either driver. But that wasn't even the real story. The real story was Hamilton's reaction. In a sport where drivers are more and more coached to sound like robots on the mic, Lewis took a stand. Again. But this time, he wasn't just defending his driving. He was defending who he is. It all went down at turn 11. Hamilton and Sainz both fighting for P7, neither willing to back out. The racing was tight, fair by many standards, until slight contact sent Hamilton wide. The stewards deliberated, the FIA reviewed, and the verdict? No penalties for either driver. On paper, it's just a decision. But on track, it completely flipped the race outcome. Hamilton dropped behind his rivals, and his Sunday? Basically ruined. But the lack of a penalty for Sainz wasn't what set him off. It was what it represented. Because here's the twist. Hamilton believes he did nothing wrong, and for him, this wasn't just one overtake gone wrong. It was about something much bigger. It was about identity, about reputation, about how he, a 7-time world champion, is being treated in a sport he helped revolutionize. So when reporters asked about the FIA's decision, Hamilton didn't hold back. "I won't apologize for being a fighter," he said. "That's who I am. That's what's gotten me here." And he's not wrong. This is a man who clawed his way up from a council estate in Stevenage to the top of Formula One. He's not built to be passive. But what made this different was the tone. It wasn't aggressive, it wasn't whiny, it was exhausted. Hamilton spoke like someone who's tired of being told to calm down, to say the right thing, to smile for the cameras while swallowing injustice. And if you think this was just about Sainz in Miami, think again. This has been years in the making. From the infamous Abu Dhabi 2021 controversy to smaller penalties that always seem to come at the worst possible time, Hamilton feels like he's being boxed in. It's not just about the decision, it's about the freedom to question it. "You can't be critical anymore," he said. "You can't be emotional. You can't show passion without getting punished." Sound familiar? Verstappen said almost the exact same thing after Jeddah this year. A generation of drivers now being told to behave more like PR agents than competitors. Hamilton's not having it. When Hamilton talks about these issues, whether it's racing, diversity, or standing up to authority, he's always fighting two battles, the one on track and the one off it. Let's talk about Sainz for a second. The Spaniard, aggressive and clinical, has become a feared opponent in wheel-to-wheel battles. In this case, many believe he should have been the one to back out or be penalized. Even former drivers were split, with some calling it a racing incident at best. But the FIA didn't see it that way. They ruled that it was a racing incident, meaning neither driver was penalized. Fans weren't convinced. Twitter exploded with comments like, "Why punish real racing?" So, we're just supposed to follow the DRS train now? Hamilton echoed that frustration. He didn't address the FIA's decision directly, but when he spoke with fire. "Let me race, that's all I'm asking." This constant judgment, it takes a toll. Hamilton, more than most, carries the weight of expectation and scrutiny. Every mistake becomes a headline. Every radio message gets dissected. And the problem now? Even when he says nothing, people twist his words. That's why, in Miami, Hamilton chose to speak clearly, unapologetically. "I don't need to justify myself," he said. "I've been in this sport long enough. I know who I am." What makes it so raw is that you can see the cracks behind the calm. Hamilton's not just fighting for position anymore. He's fighting to be seen, not as a washed-up legend, not as a controversial figure, but as the same relentless fighter he's always been. Here's where it gets deeper. If F1 wants clean racing, fine, but it needs consistency. Fans, drivers, and even team principals have called out the FIA for being vague and unpredictable. In Miami, that inconsistency showed up again. One driver gets involved in a close racing battle, and another is involved in a similar incident weeks before, yet no penalties are applied to either. That inconsistency erodes trust and fuels outbursts like Hamilton's. Let's be honest, if this incident had been between Alonso, Ocon, or even Norris, would we be talking about it this much? Probably not. But when it's Hamilton, it's never just about the racing. So, what now? Hamilton won't apologize, not for his driving, not for his voice, not for being emotional, and frankly, he shouldn't. The sport needs personalities like him. Fighters, people who challenge the system when it doesn't feel right, and let's not forget Ferrari team principal Fred Vasseur's recent comments. After the Miami Grand Prix, he acknowledged the need for improved communication and decision-making within the team. Vasseur admitted that the lack of clarity on the strategy calls and the internal decisions are issues they need to work on moving forward. It's a reminder that even the most successful teams are constantly evolving. And in Formula One, the margins between success and failure are razor thin. Whether you agree with the incident or not, the bigger issue remains. Formula One is at a crossroads. Do we want drivers who follow scripts or ones who race and speak from the heart? Because in Miami, Lewis Hamilton reminded us why millions fell in love with this sport in the first place. Not just for the speed, but for the passion, the emotion, the fight, and when the visor goes down in Imola next week, don't expect Hamilton to play it safe. He's not just chasing lap times anymore, he's chasing justice, one apex at a time. For Lewis, the fight has never been about trophies. It's about what those trophies mean. It's about the message his every move sends to the next kid dreaming from a council estate, to every driver who dares to question authority, and to a sport that sometimes forgets who helped shape it. And whether you love him or not, there's no denying. Formula One without Lewis Hamilton, unapologetic, passionate, relentless, would be a lot less human. So, if you believe F1 should stay raw, emotional, and real, hit that like button. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Was the Miami incident handled fairly? And subscribe for more stories that go beyond the podium.